Hello, 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 hello. It is Monday. It is another Monday, another stream, as always. And today we're going to start with a new project. So many new projects this the last few weeks, you know. Before we really, I guess, yeah, you know, before 2 weeks ago, we finished the long-term project, which was probably like 2 months we've been working on that. And now I wanted to do some more smaller projects. So basically, hopefully, or, you know, the optimal for me was always like 1 project a week. And I think this workflow that we have here works pretty well for that, at least for the sort of, I guess, this sort of project idea in terms of like recreating, you know, more stylized characters, for example, into a more realistic person, for example. So that's what we're going to do this week too. So we were in the process of creating real life, I guess, versions of Jinx and Vi from the Netflix series Arcane, and this week we're going to do the same for Caitlyn. So Caitlyn is the last person in the trio of, I guess you could say, protagonists, or I guess the I don't know, like the heroine trio. That sounds kind of weird, but yeah. That's what we're gonna do this week. We're gonna go and create Caitlyn as a real-life version, basically. And I also need to figure out still how to set up the AI to create its version, because I think that can space the whole thing up a little bit more. So I'm trying to figure that out too. I can't write in Python, so I need to find someone that can to guide me through that, because there are some errors that I can't fix, or maybe I can fix it in a different way. I have 2 ways how I could probably do it, but that's neither here and there right now. What we're going to do today is we're going to start with the face and head, the face and body of Caitlyn, and then tomorrow we're going to probably go to I don't even know, we'll see. But today we're going to go do the face and the body. That's going to be today's plan. So, of course, we're going to begin with the 30-minute quick sketch, as always, and then we're going to go to the project, to Caitlyn. So, we started pretty late, so let's get straight into... I started pretty late, not we. Let's go straight to Blender. There it is. Starting during the transition into a new song that I've never heard before. Nice. Okay, so this is today's quick sketch reference. The same person that we had before, the same artist, made this one too. Let me just quickly show you their ArtStation profile, and then we can begin. Where are you? There it is. Okay, so... Oh, wait, what? There it is. Yeah. So, hold on, let me find... There it is. Okay. Here you can see who made it. The same person that did the last one that we did on stream, Young Key 917. I think he has very, very cool concepts. He also worked on the new game, what is it called? Wukong. So he's very, very talented and very professional, let's say. And he makes very, very cool concept art. And today we're gonna do this one, this rad sun. No, we're just gonna do the father. We're not gonna do the son, because that would take way too long. But that's gonna be today's goal. Let's get back to, oh, there you go, to this. Okay. First of all, yeah, you know, I don't think there's much more to discuss. Let's get straight into it so we can get straight back to Caitlyn. You know, we can finish this project in a week, but it always, you know, it takes more than just 4 streams to do it. So, you know, the more time I have on stream, the more time I can do something else off stream. So, my timer's ready. Let me just turn down the music just a little bit. Actually, no, let me just turn down my headset. Okay, perfect. Let's begin. Am I ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Perfect. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. Okay. So, I mean, you know, this one is, I guess, fairly simple. It's basically like a human, but I guess you could say, I hate this. Why do you always... Why? Hold on. There you go. It's a little bit more, you could say, you know, it's a little bit different. It's like an anthropomorph, I guess, is what you call it. So it's not like 100% like a human. It has some human features, but it's, you know, it's a mix between an animal and a human. So you have like the big rat mouth plus nose, and then, you know, the general proportions of a human. Mix in with that. Let's see how we can turn this into a sculpt. I thought about doing it the way that I do normal, I guess, characters, starting with the workflow of creating the skull, or at least the head shape, and doing it like that. But I think I want to do it differently for this one, just to kind of, I guess, change it up. No real like workflow, I guess, you know, no efficiency reasons necessarily. Just I wanted to switch it up. Done characters for quite a while, and you know, maybe this workflow might be even better. That's how I actually found my current workflow for characters. Just kind of switching up things here and there, maybe, you know, or, you know, getting an idea. Oh, this might work better. This might work better than what I've done before. So let's check it out, and you know, so this way you can improve your workflow more and more and more. And what I've done for the last quick sketches is what I want to do here too. Basically just starting with a sphere, and then basically just trying to sculpt, start somewhere and then see where it goes. What I usually like to do, if I guess if I'm more strict on the quality of the sculpt, for example, for Caitlyn, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a, well, we're going to start with a base mesh there, but if I would sculpt characters from scratch with a sphere, I would probably begin with a, I guess, you know, I would make sure that the general shapes look good before I go into more detail. So that's what I don't do here right now. It's kind of like a lion right now. Yeah, for the quick sketches, I'm usually more lenient or more free in how I create them, I guess you could say. Might be better, might be worse. I don't know. I'll just do it that way for this one. I made my choice and now I need to execute on it, okay? I think, you know, so the good part about doing it, like creating the general shapes first, is of course that you can spend some time, well, that you don't run into the problem that you might have in later realizing that there are some like big shapes that you can't really easily fix anymore, that kind of mess up the sculpt. Stuff like that could happen. I don't think that's going to be a big problem here, so that's why I kind of chose to go this way. Not really a big, I guess you could say, you know, productivity reason or whatever. Maybe a little bit also too, because it's a little bit faster to just do it this way, instead of making sure that every shape looks good and then fiddling around with them over and over and over again until it looks good, because that takes a while too. There you go. Still looks like a lion. Let's see if we can turn it around. I think the teeth really make up the rat look. Also, probably the nose a little bit, but especially the rat teeth, and the lips too, sort of, in a way how they're like designed, so that the nose is basically like, I don't know how to describe it. The rats have a very interesting, or I guess like rodents, I think they're called in general, have an interesting, have interesting lips, you could say, very, very significant lips, that you can even sort of like, it's a certain characteristic that you can add to other characters too to make them look more rat or mouse-like, you could say. So for example, for the, what is it called? The Grinch movie, you can see how the people in the city, not the Grinch itself, probably the Grinch itself too, but especially the people in the city have this weird, or have this very interesting nose and mouth shape. And at least for me, it always kind of looked like they're like rats, or maybe not rats, but they have like this ratish look to them. You know, they're a little bit, they still look human, but they have like a certain rat characteristic in them that makes them, I guess, unique and more, I guess, fantastical. Which is what you, you know, need to add to a rat sculpt too. I can't really describe it that well, because it's, yeah, it's weird. Okay. I think this is way too far forward. Still looks like a lion. Let's see if we can turn it into a rat soon. Maybe, yeah, I think it's slowly getting there. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Let's turn these, make these rounder. Welcome back, Ariel. Have a good day, you too. Hope you enjoyed your day so far, and you know, in the future. Hope your Monday has been, I guess, okay. Maybe even good. Maybe even great. Where's the real life Kate? We're gonna start with that when we're done with this. This is the introduction, I guess you could say, the warm-up, and then we're gonna get into it. Santiago, welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoyed your Monday too. Super Killer 232 Games. Thank you for the Rituology stream. I was watching the replay and it was so helpful. This is the real life Kate. Nope, this is just the warm-up. I appreciate the message with the stream. Yeah, the stream, sometimes I kind of wonder if the stream version is like helpful enough, because, you know, if it's live you can't really overthink, or you can really think through the structure too much. So it's always nice to hear somebody say like, hey, this is helpful. Because you know, making a video out of streams, you know, lets you kind of condense everything together, makes it even more accessible and I guess easier to understand. 21 minutes, okay. Let's see, so, okay. I think we're slowly getting there. It looks too, maybe it looks too, let's see, change the nose. I think the nose is one of the big problems. It was too high. That made it kind of look more like a lion, because I think lions have like a, I guess, more diagonal nose, maybe. Maybe if we do it more like this, that could help too. There you go. Maybe it's the nose in general, the shape. Okay. I'm gonna add a neck first before we go into the ears, and then hopefully with the ears it looks a little bit more like a rat. We'll see. Oh. Yeah, so you can theoretically, I think, change titles while you're live on YouTube and Twitch. The thing is, I think the service that I'm using to stream on both, because I'm not just opening OBS twice and then using that, because that takes up twice the amount of bitrate, which is not affordable for me. I don't think I can change the title there, so I have to, you know, kind of work with the main topic, and then you know, the first, what is it, like the first 30 minutes or so is just something else, or the quick sketch mostly. Which then after the stream, you know, after the stream is over, I can sort of, I guess, make more clear by using timestamps to show when the actual topic is starting. This way I can kind of you know, at least held there, make it more comprehensible, I guess, or, you know, understandable what's going on when the actual topic is starting. Okay, I want to give him more like a humpback. I'm gonna add some more here in the back. He also has a lot of hair, so let's see how we can add that. Might be a little bit harder. We'll see. I don't want to... should I add the neck too? Kind of don't want to. Let's see. You know what? Hold on, let me adjust the head a little bit, and then let's see what it looks like without the neck first, and then if we need it, we can add it later. Nice line. Yeah, let's see if we can turn it from a line into something more radish. Let's see. Let's add the ears. Hopefully that can help. The ears don't really look too mouse-like, I guess. At least mice. I think rats too have more like a round ear. This one looks more, I guess, pointy. But we'll see. Maybe it helps. I guess lions have like a round ears too. Oh, there you go. I think it helps. Yeah. This kind of reminds me of the rat dude in Arcane that, for example, works together with Echo. That's what this reminds me of right now, a little bit. Maybe that's just me. Okay. Add the ear hole. There you go. Let's see how we can add the hair. If those are like super fine hairs, the good part about sculpting hairs, it's very quick. I guess the downside, or it is harder when you have very fine hair or very cluttered hair, you could say, where it isn't really necessarily sticking together. So you have these clear hair strands, but it's more like here where I have like these, you know, these hair strands just going in all directions. I think you can still do it, but it's a little bit more time consuming. So let's see how that turns out. Maybe we'll fail at the hair. There you go. I'm just gonna give him like a weird ear shape too, because I can. There you go. Okay. There you go. Okay, yeah, now it looks more like a rat. Let's see if we can bring it closer to the reference. Oh, one thing that is still missing are the teeth. I think the teeth will really help here. Look at that. Easy. Well, definitely looks more like a rat now. Probably need some more teeth though. There you go. Yeah, now it's getting there. Oh, yeah, the lower jaw was also way too far forward. It looked kind of more like a lion because of that. If we pull it further back, just like normal, you know, mice or rats, it definitely looks more like one. Okay, let's see if we can bring it closer to the reference. Give him a good old Chad chin. There you go. Perfect. Let's add some more details here. First of all, we need some eyelets for the eyes. Oh, that's too big. Perfect. Okay. I think that's a good starter. Perfect. And then let's go to... oh, to the face in general. Maybe even like a small cheek here. And then I want to kind of add these wrinkles that it has too. I think that can help with the overall look too. We don't need to go necessarily and add more detail. I think we can stick with what we have here. Make it look more. Dude, have you ever seen a have you ever seen a naked rat? I don't know how I got to that, but I googled what was it? I googled shaved rat or shaved animal, and I saw a rat and they look so weird. I don't know. They look like they have a onesie on that's just way too big. It's, I don't know, like, why they look so for example, compared to I think they're called Sphinx cats, like naked cats without hair, without fur. They still look like they still look like cats, but without fur. Rats just kind of look like mice, but they just shrunk, but their skin stayed the same. So they have like millions of wrinkles everywhere. It's so weird. It's if you look at a rat, like there are so many wrinkles. I don't really get why that is, because I mean maybe the rat was old, but you know, wouldn't it rather be like I don't know, wouldn't it be like super smooth? That was kind of weird, like seeing, you know, or like for example chimpanzees or monkeys, they look super jacked when they're shaven. Bears also look kind of weird. But yeah, like all of them, they're not really super wrinkly. They have some wrinkles, but they're not as wrinkly as rats. I wonder why. It looks so weird when I saw it. It literally looks like a mouse that just wore just everything except the skin just shrunk. It was very weird. That's what this reminds me of. A naked rat with all these wrinkles. There you go. Okay. I think I want to add a few more here up there, and then we can go to the fur, or the, I guess, beard you could say, or hair. And you know what? I think we're pretty much there. Let's go to the hair. Oh, that rhymed. Perfect. Okay. Let's add some hair here. So we have one in the down here. Goes up there. It stays up here, down here actually. And then we have a receding hairline right here. And this goes down. No, actually, yeah, like this. Okay. Nice little circle right there around in the back of the head. And then we have some more here too. For this one, I'm probably going to go to 50 resolution, just so we have more resolution to work with. Otherwise, it looks kind of weird. So there you go. Let's add some hair. Probably going to go start with the eyebrows, because that's easy. I could also go with 100. Maybe we'll do that afterwards. Although we only have 9 minutes left, so we can probably just do the hair once. But I want to kind of, you know, add some, at least, you know, go with 50, because then I can at least give it some more detail there, or as much detail as it requires for it to look like hair. Okay, let's go down here, give it the original shape, or the shape first, and then we can fine tune it. There you go. Maybe we can even layer it a little bit like this, and then we need to go pretty deep here. It gets pretty thin, but I think we can still work with this. There you go. Good old mohawk in the back. Perfect. That's what I would imagine a rat to look like when it was, if it was like a human. There you go. Now it looks just like an old rat. Oh, we still need to add the hairs right there too. I guess you could call them whiskers. Are whiskers only for cats, or is that actually for other animals too? I would imagine so. I only really, I guess, heard that name when I like in relation to cats. But I would imagine, you know, other animals also have whiskers. You don't really call them like antennas or whatever. Okay. We have 7 minutes left, or we have a little bit more, so we can give it some more love here. There you go. Give it some waviness too, to make it look more interesting than just straight. There you go, and then we can go in here and add some smaller hairs right here. There you go. Now we're getting somewhere. Maybe. Look at him. That's a beard if I've ever seen one. Let's do the same down here, just to kind of create a better transition between this smooth sort of surface down there and the actual hairs that we have there. Maybe another layer. Look at that. Yeah, that's pretty okay. It's not like the original, but it's getting there, or it's close. Oh, well, let's do the hair individual here first. Here. There you go. Yeah, I think so. Last week we did Vi, or a realistic version of Vi. This week we're gonna of course do Caitlyn. The week before that we've done Jinx. I think Jinx will have taken the shortest at the end. Probably followed by Caitlyn. I think Vi just took the longest because of the, I guess, clothing. I think I want to change the workflow a little bit today, or this week, compared to how we did it for Vi. First of all, we kind of tried to figure out how to do more multi-layered clothing for Vi. So like she has like a jacket, she also has like a corset, and then another layer below that. So that was the challenge that we tried to find a good solution for. And then also we kind of, what I realized is that I think it's I think I can pay more attention to what is actually going to be visible in the end and how it's going to be visible. I think I can save a lot of time there too. So for example, I worked on the core set quite a lot, the shader, the jacket too, the jacket shader and all that. And in the end, like for example, for the core set, the shader wasn't really visible. It was basically just the color. You couldn't really see like the bump texture and all that because it was basically out of focus. So I think I can be a little bit more effective with how I spent my time fine-tuning everything. I think what I want to do is first I want to finish the model and the pose, and then I'll go into the shading process. I will also not, so the idea that we had for Jinx was to combine the model, the body, and or at least join the body, I mean the clothing together into one, so that it is like a one coherent, I guess, model that gets, I guess, not transformed, but modified, or what would you call it, like that gets affected by the armature. The problem with that was that it the weight painting not transformation, but the weight painting was kind of weird in some areas. Some stuff, for example, for the jacket, you could imagine like the sleeve was sort of going into the middle part of the jacket. So it kind of, the weight painting was a little bit janky there. I think we might go with a T-pose base mesh this time, or I just have to pay more attention to so that it's not clipping maybe, because it didn't really pose a huge, or it wasn't really a big problem with Vi. It was just kind of more annoying to work with. And it also cost a lot of time to join everything together into one model, because I had to apply all the subdivisions, and you can imagine, you know, with very high subdivisions, Blender doesn't like that. So everything was super slow at some point, you know, working with everything, creating shaders and all that. We're just kind of doing small changes on the model itself. I kind of want to keep the multi-resolution modifier as best as possible, so that I can still work with that and reduce the strain I put on my PC, I guess, while working on the model. Because, yeah, I don't want to, you know, suffer through that again. So we'll probably see if we can find a good solution for that. How we can, I mean, I don't think we need to combine the clothing necessarily. I think with good vertex weight painting, it's we don't need to do that. It's also probably it's better to not combine it, just because if you want to change weight painting on one piece and you've combined them all together, is what I've discovered, you can't really do that very well. So it's definitely better to just keep them all separate. I always have a problem getting outfits to work going from T-pose to A pose, or to A. Do you mean A pose or to A pose? Yeah. So I think I've kind of discovered the benefits of a T-pose compared to a to the A pose base mesh. For example, like the big benefit is probably the if you add clothing to a character. For example, with an A pose, you would stand like this with your hands sort of diagonally down. With an A pose, you would have your arms up here, which gives you more room here to work with clothing, which, you know, let's kind of creates better weight painting here. Because what can happen if you have like your arm down here is that, you know, this stuff right here is so close together that the weights can kind of mess up and maybe transfer differently than they should have, and create some interesting weight painting that can be kind of hard to fix. So I like to I considered going with a T pose for Caitlyn, but I think I want to stick with the A pose for now. I think we can still optimize it, that we don't run into that problem too much. I think the biggest problem, or it was kind of like a combination of problems with the Vi. First of all, that I combined all the whole outfit together, which didn't, you know, which removed the multi-resolution benefit, and then also the putting everything together makes it harder to affect or to change weight depending on individual pieces, and also sort of work, I guess, for example, on a piece that is on a lower layer underneath the jacket, for example. It was harder to do that because you would have to go into edit mode, you would have to select everything except for that piece, you would have to hide it, and then you can work on it. And because every move lagged, that was kind of annoying. Okay, let's finish it by adding the whiskers. 0.6, hopefully that helps. Oh, you know what? We don't even need to use that. We can just go with fall off constant. Oh, wait. Let me quickly add some more. Oh, time's already over. Well, I guess we'll just stay here. You know what? No, hold on. Oh. There you go. Easy. That looks pretty good, actually. There you go. Easy. Okay, let's add some eyes. I'm not gonna cut off the neck because I would cut off the hair too. Okay, let's finish this. Where am I? There it is. Scale it up. Hello. Oh, I thought my blender crashed. That would have been fatal. .309, there it is. Because I haven't saved the file yet. I also want to set up a an asset browser now that we have that in Blender. 309 for all my materials, for example. Created so many over the time that I've been using it that an asset browser would probably make sense. Okay. Camera first. Ah, that looks pretty good. There you go. Maybe even a slight rotation here. Like that. Okay. And then we'll go into eyes. We can probably just use UV spheres. I don't think human eyes will look that good on it. There you go. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. Right. It's time for the lighting. There it is. What do we need? What do we need? We need another quick sketch. There it is. Okay. First of all, I probably want to have sharp lighting, so I'm gonna make this smaller. And then let's see. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Ooh. I like that. That's pretty cool. Setting up the asset browser with all the old stuff is an entire weekend project. Yeah, I mean, the good thing is I already last weekend or this weekend I downloaded, I got, and also prepared all my old procedural or shaders in general. So I put them all in a folder. So all I have to do is I have to go into the individual files and just make them an asset, so that then when I open the folder, I can see them all, which is pretty neat. You can also just I think put everything into a single blend file, but I kind of want to keep it separate. So that's what I've done on the weekend. So all I have to do is go into, yeah, into the individual files and right-click Make Asset. And then I have to link them into my, into the, I guess, starting file for Blender. Okay, I don't think we need more. We need, oh, lighting though. That light, nope, nope, and then yes. I think that's okay. I don't know really where to place it, but I think that's a good spot. Let's make it this color. Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's going to be extremely helpful once it's set up, like speed up the process even more. I'm kind of in the, I kind of want to look more into ways to speed up everything. Because time is short. And I want to save as much time as possible doing the same stuff over and over and over and over again. I might even do a, although that's not really necessary. Thought about doing a quick sketch file that I can just open it, everything's ready to set up, but all I really do when I go into Blender is switch to sculpting and then import my reference image. There's not really, anything else I do here. So I don't think I really need to do anything to prepare. Or I can't really optimize that too much. Red eyes or black eyes? Let's see. I think black eyes are better. I don't want to make it look evil. I just want to make it look like a rat. Even though mice or rats, I think sometimes can have red eyes. I don't think it's necessarily good here. I don't like it. Oh, hold on. There it is. I've noticed these new settings here. Subsurface IOR and subsurface anisotropy. Never used it. Maybe at some point. Probably need to look into that. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like skin shaders might be better now. Might work better. Or easier to use. We'll see. Need to check that out at some point. There you go. And then we need depth of field. Perfect. Should we make it pinkish? I think I want to make it bright again. Let's grab the light. There it is. Make it this color. Perfect. The red is sort of, light is not in a good space right now. I think that's better. Yeah. It gives you some more contrast here. Before it was all red. Now it's like red and black combined. Okay. Do a quick render. Then we have the post-production. There you go. Put that in there. Glare node. Set it to 7. Maybe 6. Perfect. Save it. 100%. Oh, I also noticed that there's now a separation between the viewport sampling and render sampling for some reason. I guess because now you have min and max. I think I changed before I changed this upper setting here, not the lower setting. So let's set that to 8 now. I think that's why the render was so quick the last few times. Let's see how long it takes now. 3 minutes? I don't think so. 3 minutes? Hold on. Let me drink something real quick. Wait, how long? Why does it take so long? Didn't it take like what was it? Like 45 seconds before on 2.9 whatever. Why is it longer? Like way longer. What's going on here? I'll just let it go through. You know what? No, let's just stick with 32. It worked quite well. Or just say 32 times 2. 64. Double the render sampling rate. If I couldn't notice it in the 32 render, then I'm probably not going to notice it. There's not going to be a huge difference between that and the 265. I don't even know what you can do with the asset browser. Well, no, I don't really know what you can what you can add. Can you add textures too? I don't think you can. I don't think textures count as like an asset. I think you need to have it in a blend file, and then it needs to be marked as an asset. Otherwise, you can't really use it as that, or see it in the asset browser, at least. It would be cool if you could see textures too. Oh, tomorrow's gonna be quick sketch day 310. Crazy. Okay. Let's go to Photoshop real quick and finish the whole thing. I need to open it first. I don't know why, but it always takes quite long to open. I saw a video. I haven't watched it. I've just seen the title, claiming that Adobe programs are, what is it? They're faster or more efficient, I think he called it, or better, I think he just called it. If they're not, no, what was it? Pirated Adobe programs are better. I don't know if that's true, but kind of tempted to try it. Because sometimes they seem quite slow, even though they shouldn't be. Maybe that's just me. Okay, let's get it done. Welcome back. Crow made a new render. Oh. For the future screensaver. Oh. An animated screensaver, or just a, image. Okay. Let's finish it. There it is. PSD, yep. And then PNG. Or JPEG, I mean. Perfect. As always, I'm gonna upload the image. And then we're going to begin with Caitlyn. So in 3 minutes, or you're going to see the compilation, 3-minute compilation. After that's done, we're going to begin with the Caitlyn process. We're going to sculpt her. We're going to begin with the face first. Then we're going to go to the body. The body doesn't need that many changes, just because we're going to cover most of it with clothing anyway. And then, yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Let me just quickly import my image to my phone, and then we can get there. Only a test picture, okay. There you go. Okay. So I'm gonna see you in 3 minutes, and then we're gonna begin with Caitlyn. So enjoy. Okay, we're back and we're ready to go. At least I am. Maybe you're not. Hopefully you can get ready soon. Let's begin. So we wanted to begin. We wanted to create Caitlyn now. We've created Vi and Jinx the last two weeks. This week we're gonna do Caitlyn. Just like the last few weeks. First of all, I want to kind of improve the workflow of creating characters in 1 week. Maybe even fully on stream. We'll see how that can improve too. We're gonna begin how we did it the last few weeks too, with the body and face. That's what we're gonna do today. What we're gonna focus on today. So the goal, of course, will not only be to the goal is to create the stylized version of Caitlyn from the show Arcane into a more realistic style, or into trying to model her how she could look like in real life. So to do that, of course, we have to do kind of a mix between likeness sculpting, so capturing the likeness of the character, and also transferring that into a more realistic, realistic proportions, realistic look, realistic, making it more realistic. For example, kind of bringing the stylization back into realism. That's sort of the goal. We you know what? We could maybe even use... No, can we? No, we can't. We can't. Okay, never mind. First things first, let's go over the references so you saw them too. There you go. So my references are right here. Of course, as always, for the references, what I'm looking for is, in the best case, I'm looking to find the... I try to find references for a 360 degree look at the character's face that I'm trying to recreate, or the person's face for likeness sculpting, for example. So what we have here is basically that. I've done the same for Vi and Jinx too. We have the front view, and then we have a slight rotation here to the side, same in this direction, and then we also have some shots where she's kind of looking down or up, just to kind of see those angles too. Kind of trying to find all these angles that I'm showing you here right now. Basically trying to find those for my character, so I can know what that character looks like from all angles. So I have there are no holes where I kind of need to improvise, basically. Yeah, I will use those for proportions, and also the overall look, the colors and all that, of course. And then the features, what makes the face look unique, stuff like that. Then I also have the outfit. I think I want to go with, so she in the series is wearing two. I think this one is more the formal uniform. This one's the, I guess more casual, you could say, outfit. I want to probably go with this one because I think that's what she's wearing the most. So I want to go with this one. This one's more formal. This is not like, you know, casual. What I usually try to do is with these recreations in real life is I try to, or realistic recreations, I try to kind of put them in a scene. In the show itself. And so I kind of want to go with a scene where she's wearing this outfit. Then I also grabbed some real references. Those are where I kind of recognize some features of her face. For example, like the nose shape, or the sort of lip, or the mouth, for example. Here, the very pronounced mouth muscles down here. I try to find some real life references for that, just to kind of have some at hand, so I don't have to, I guess, pull that out of my brain. So you can see here the more pronounced mouth, lip muscles right here, this line right there, for example, what it could look like in real life, here too. And then also for the nose, I think this one was the closest that I could find for the nose shape. So I went with that, got some more references for that too. So we have real life references, we have the outfit references, we have the reference of the face, and then we also have some inspirations for example, the pose. You know, every one of these so far had a pose, so I want to go with another one for this one. These ones are sort of to capture the essence of the character, the characteristics of the character, so basically how the creator of the character portrays that character. That's what I'm kind of trying to use as inspiration too. So I might have an idea what the character could pose like, but of course, if the creator also has like already made poses, I can gather those two and use those as inspiration too, or as references. Catch you later in the Discord if you're interested to look. Okay, yeah, post it in the Discord and then I'll look at it later. Okay, yeah, those are the references. I'll put them here to the side where the chat is, so you won't see it, but I will. There you go. We're gonna begin with the face, of course. Okay. Let's go back to Blender and let's begin with the modeling. Of course, I will use a base mesh to begin, because otherwise it would just take way too long to create the body itself. So let me just quickly grab the base mesh and then we can begin. I'm in the completely wrong folder, as always. There it is, base mesh. Of course, I'm going to use a female base mesh. I think there are also neutral base meshes. Although, yeah, female and male is probably better if you have both, because then you don't need to like change the base mesh to even get to one of these. OBJ, there you go. And then we need the A pose. I like to use the A pose, because then I kind of feel like, from my experience so far, I can get better deformations. And also the shoulders, for example, if you have your shoulders up here, look different than if they're down here, because the shoulders are being used to raise your arm. So the shoulder shape changes a little bit. Just how you change your bicep shape if you do this motion, for example. If you would have a base mesh that looks like this, it would look different than this. And by deforming an armature or using an armature to form the model, you can't really stretch out the biceps very well. So I like to use something that's more natural in the pose. Of course, we talked before about the problems that could arise from that. With, for example, an outfit kind of, if it's very close to the arm here, it could lead to some problems. But I think now that I've went through those problems once, I think I can, I guess, avoid them better this time. Or at least, work with them a little bit better. Yeah. As always, we're going to begin with the head, and then we're going to go to the rest later. This one's pretty small in Blender standards. In Blender standards. It's a scale 1, but you can see the dimensions. Y currently is the up axis. Let's apply the rotation. You can see she is 1.65 meters high. I think I can't remember. Oh, let me... Did I scale them up? I can't remember. There are some weird things if you work with the normal dimensions here. The shading looks weird sometimes. The shader, you need to set up the shader differently. You need to set up the some other things differently. So I just want to quickly check out how big my characters are, like Vi and Jinx are, just so I know that I can just basically import the skin shader, for example, and then work with that as the base, rather than having to create my own or just change the values again. Let me just quickly see how big Jinx was, and then we can begin. Yeah, we're going to start with the head, and then we're going to go to the body afterwards. Okay. You can't see what I'm seeing, but that's okay. Oh, I hope. Hello? Oh, there you go. So this one's... Okay, I kept it the same scale. Okay, perfect. Well, that's good then. Okay. Don't save. There you go. Okay, so we can begin. Let's go in here. We select the body. Let's call it body. There you go. Let's go into sculpting. So let's go into the face. So good thing is, now that we use a base mesh, we don't need to care about topology. Well, getting good topology, let's say, because we already have good topology. The problem with, I guess, working from scratch is that you always have to retopologize afterwards if you want to, I guess, pose the character. It's not 100% necessary, but it's definitely way easier to do it that way. Also, you know, texturing is harder if you don't have good topology. So it's always, you know, if you want to avoid these problems or you want to avoid some time, I guess save some time, you can use a base mesh. That's what we're going to do here. There's one thing that I wanted to change, which was... Oh, I wanted to import a reference. And then we can begin. So you can see something at least. There you go. I'm gonna probably use the front view right here. There you go. Okay. So as always, I'm gonna begin with the base, I guess the general proportions first, and then we can go into more details later. So let's do that now. Let me see. Yeah, okay. The biggest, I guess the most important references for a face to get the proportions, or the, I guess you could say the... Oh wait, symmetry's off. That's not good. To get the proportions right is that I forgot what I wanted to say. Hold on. So... the most important part about getting, or the most important things to get a likeness scope right is getting the proportions right. So that's what I'm working on right now, kind of getting the big shapes right first, the distance between everything, the size of everything, so that you basically, once you kind of get that done, you should at least see a resemblance of that character. And then, you know, the more you work on it, the more you should get to the character. So I'm gonna go, the most important references, that's what I wanted to say. The most important references, in my opinion at least, and what I've read too, are references that look... Oh, that's too high. That are being... Hold on. The most important references for likeness sculpting, in my opinion, are references in the front view and profile view. Those basically describe the shape of the head the best. Then you can also have like 3/4, for example, it can also be important. Same with the, like from the back, for example, that can be helpful too. But the profile view, and if you only can find 2 references, then they should be the profile view and also the front view. Those are the most important ones by far. The best way to see a shape of something is to look at the silhouette. And the silhouette describes, you know, you can see how much easier it is to see the shapes of, for example, the chin and all that from this view, than, for example, the eye or the cheek. And that's why these shots are the most important ones. It's just way, way easier to see the different proportions. Okay, let's go to the lips. The lips are quite thin. Let's do that here. There you go. We also have some more defined muscles here for the lips right there. That's what I meant with the sort of line underneath the lips right here. There you go. Some said that you need to start from scratch without ready-made models to create for better understanding what you do. If you want to go for practicing, or for, I guess you could say, what would you call it? Like, it's definitely better to start with a, well, start from scratch if you want to learn stuff like anatomy, for example, or for learning a certain workflow that doesn't involve, you know, using base meshes, for example, because then you can learn the entire workflow. So, for example, if you start learning sculpting, you shouldn't start with a like head base mesh, just because at some point you want to get into character modeling. You should get a base mesh once you kind of feel very, very safe in your skills when it comes to creating characters, for example, and not right from the beginning, because you need to learn the basics first, because the basics are the most important part. If you don't know the basics, you can't really understand the future, I guess, problems that you might encounter. So yeah, if you want to learn something like anatomy, it's definitely better to start from scratch. If you want to be a little bit quicker, you can still use base meshes. So for example, for like production, like in studios, they don't really use, they oftentimes either work with already made models or with models from an older project, for example. Or what they also sometimes do is they use base meshes. It's pretty rare that actual like from scratch made models are being used or being made, you know. And that's also usually reserved for the, I guess, for the senior, for example, character modelers, because, well, they already, like, they have a lot of experience and they won't take as much time than others. For this one, of course, because I want to finish it in a week. Yeah, working from scratch is not really, I guess, that effective, you know, so I use a base mesh. That's pretty much it. I wouldn't have a problem doing it from scratch, but it just takes way longer. When I watched Flying Cat, the head was the most important element. I mean, for a character, yeah. You know, the head has the most unique features of somebody's body. So that's what you usually spend the most time on. You know, you could grab a whole different person and dress them up the same way as a different character and you would still see them. You could still recognize them as that character. But if you want to, like, if you work on the face and you basically don't give them any clothing, maybe even just the eyes could work too. Like, just making the eyes, you can still, like, recognize somebody. You can't really just show somebody, like, an arm or well, without any clothing, for example, and necessarily make it recognizable. I think that's pretty hard to do. The face has like the most unique features. That's why it's so so important in a character. Okay. So, for example, very important features are, of course, the nose or the lips. Same for even just the face shape. The eyes, of course, very important. Other stuff like the eyebrows, general proportions too. Stuff like that are very very telling of somebody's, I guess, like those are very unique features of everybody. Welcome back, Johnny. How's it going? Going pretty well. Hope you enjoyed your Monday too. Maybe even your weekend. Maybe. You know, weekends might not be as enjoyable as Mondays. No, of course not. Hope you enjoyed your Monday. Hope you could enjoy your Monday. You know, some people hate Mondays. Hope you're not one of them. May I ask something about Vi's hair? True. I mean, yeah, sure. True. What? Yep, you can, of course. Ask away. Realistic Arcane Caitlyn. There you go. Saved. Perfect. Okay. During the transition or during the creation, it might look kind of weird in between, just because of the it doesn't really work together sometimes, but that's just the process. Okay, I want to kind of remove the pinch a little bit. Let's bring it to 0.25. Okay. Okay. Let's see the eyes. Okay. I don't know what this thing is called. The tear duct, right? The small thing right there. Kind of weird right now. To be honest, this version of Caitlyn actually looks pretty Asian. I saw a Reddit post about that too. I agree. You can't really see the eyelid too much, or this sort of fold up there. And the eyes are very, like, I guess, like cat eyes. The outer corner is way higher than the lower corner, which makes it kind of look more Asian. I don't want to make it necessarily Asian, because all the other depictions looked more Caucasian. So let's see how we can kind of bring these two together, I guess. Let's see. It's always kind of hard to see the lips with this model for some reason. Maybe I should change the shading a little bit. Let's see. Do we see it there? That's a little bit better. Not that much better though. Oh wow. The one that I used before is this one. But this one doesn't work too. Yeah, either, I mean. Let's try black and white for this one. There you go. Trying to do the same you did, but when I try to modify the hair, it seems it's missing resolution. Like I add more points subdividing, but the hair still looks like missing resolution. So it looks, it has very sharp corners, you mean? That's what you have to do there is you have to increase the, here, particle system here. You need to increase the render and viewport display strand steps. I think that's the steps you see in the particle edit mode are only really there for you to edit them. The strand steps, I think, define either how many steps there are between these points or how many steps there are in general. I think it's how many there are between the points. So if you increase that number, I think I usually for the final render use like 8. Looks pretty good. It's pretty smooth. I think I even went down to 4 for some of them, depending on how short the hair is. Okay. I want to make the jaw a little bit more pointier. I'm an X-Gen user. Oh, the superior program for hair, you mean? At least from what I've seen so far. Welcome back, Hustler. Hope you enjoyed your Monday, maybe even your weekend. If you had one. Well, you know, if I would say weekend, I mean whenever you had it, okay? I don't want to clarify that every time. Just change your job and then we're good. Okay. I think the profile looks weird right now. It is, but due to work and such, they are asking to learn Blender. Oh, really? Interesting. Thought they would, you know... Wait, so you're using X-Gen privately, but you're using something else at work? That's interesting. What are you working as? A hair designer? It's crazy how specific some jobs can become in studios and big studios. So if you, for example, what I've seen, like I've watched a video about doing hair, using hair cards for hair, and the bigger your studio, the more the more, you know, specific your job is. So there was one person that basically only created the hairstyle. He was basically the hairstylist for the in-game, like for the protagonist, like player character. I think it was for Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn. He only made the hairstyle for her, or at least he said that he made that. He was only like he was supposed to study how hair is being made or what the hair would look like. Then he had to create that hair, you know, as detailed as possible. Imagine like the bigger your studio, the more specific it is. So you have like one area where you have like all the hair artists, in the other area you have all the, I don't know, makeup artists, and then in the other area you have like the outfit designer, you know. In smaller studios you would do everything, you know, in one. But there you have like the different sections. You would have like your own city. You would get, hey, we want to make a new character. Let's go into this one. There you have the hairstylist. So this one you can choose your clothing, and in this one you can change your body type, and you can change your, you know, everything basically. Kind of funny. We use X-Gen at work and such, but they asked the 3D character artist to learn Blender. Yeah, because it's easy to access. They probably just want to save some money. Yeah. We have groomers focus on hair only. Yeah, because hair is so detailed and so what would you call it? Like so I guess, such a detailed topic, I think you can spend probably almost as much time at using, like, training hair than you can with characters. Because it's such a... Or you can spend as much time in here than characters. Because it's such a detailed part of the... Or because it can be so detailed. Like, for example, if you look at Alloy, how many small pieces there are, how many small strands, just how wild the hair looks in general. Making that look realistic takes quite a while. Pretty crazy. I will also come. I need to go with teach materials. I need to learn how to texture right. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll see you later, Crow. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Okay, let's get this right. So I think the problem here is, first of all, she has quite a straight nose. She has a very, very small bump on her nose, but it's not really that visible at all. So I'm probably just gonna remove it because it's so fine that it's not really, doesn't really matter. So yeah, we're not gonna add that. Let me give you a profile view so you can see what I'm looking at. Also, disclaimer for the final version of Vi. I'm probably going to include that in the video that I'm going to make about this sort of project here too. I did some post-production for the hair too, so I refined the hair a little bit more in Photoshop so that it doesn't look as clustered, you could say, or as, what do you call it, like not clamped, the setting where you bring the hair strands together, so that it doesn't look too clustered. I'm just gonna go with clustered. I added some more strands in between to make it more natural. So, you know, you can probably still achieve that look that you can see in the final version, just not as like easy as I did it on stream. There it is. Should I use this one or that one? I think the other one is better. This one. Oh, there you go. That's the profile view. You can see, I think the biggest problem here right now is that the mouth is too far back. What I mean is, I think what I want to do is I want to pull this just slightly further forward. Not too much, just a little bit. There you go. Give it some more room. And then I also want to bring the nose down. She looks very French to me for some reason. I think it's the nose. And then I also want to change the profile view here. This sort of shape right there. It's kind of hard to see. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to find the perfect profile view of somebody, because oftentimes they have like a slight rotation in a certain direction, which can change the silhouette immediately, which can be quite frustrating sometimes, but I think you can still kind of adjust to it. There you go. And then we have the nostril. Maybe the nose is too long. She always looks like she's clenching her jaw. Yeah. Because of the very pronounced two muscles underneath here. I don't know what they're called. I looked it up today, but I can't remember. It has a very, very long name. Something like inferioris, whatever. Dorsey, I think. Very weird. But yeah, I agree. But I think, so, yeah, I think that, you know, adds character to her. She doesn't look too generic that way. It's easy to give a character uniqueness by giving them some sort of, like, accessory, like, for example, the nose ring, or like what do you call them? Like the earrings that Vi has. I think I like it more when like characters have actual like unique features that make them look less generic, you could say. So for example, for her, there would be the you know, the small line that you can see here underneath from her lips. Gives her, you know, a more unique look and makes it more recognizable. I noticed that probably most of the female cast, the trio, that's what I like to call them, has that. This sort of pronounced lower lip. But she definitely has it the most. I think Jinx is the second one in the ranking, and Vi has it the least. Pretty interesting when I saw it. With stuff like that, it's also kind of hard to strike a good balance between too pronounced and not pronounced enough. Another problem could be that the skin shader sometimes, because of subsurface scouting, kind of lightens or blurs some features, so it might look kind of very, very strong in the sculpt, but once you add the actual shader, it looks pretty subdued, I think could be a word for it. That's what you kind of have to take into account too sometimes. So for example, this very, very clear line that you can add here might not be that visible in the final render, just because it's so so fine. Not fine in the sense that it looks hot, but yeah, small. I kind of like this already. I think we're in a good path here. We need to change the proportions a little bit though. I like the profile view the most when I create characters, just because then you can see the most features of the face. You can see them very defined. With the front view, it's a little bit harder, in my experience. I like the profile view more. Okay. She also has very defined cheekbones. I want to kind of keep that in mind too, so I'm gonna add that now. You can see how clear the line is right here and there too. So let's add that here. Okay, and then we have one right there. I'm gonna probably, I guess, refine it, not refine it, but define it more here first, and then we can, you know, soften it some more later. Just so I can kind of add the features that I want to have in the face first, before I go into more, you know, before I get closer to the final look. She looks very malnurtured right now. So softening those features again will help with that. One thing that you kind of can look at as a, I guess, unique feature is this area here, the cheekbone area when it goes into the middle, to the nose. Some have it very high, so the cheekbone is very high. So for some is very low. For some it goes like straight down or like diagonally down. For some it's like a small bump. For her, you can see it's pretty straight or pretty flat. You know, for some people it might be more like this, for example, pretty exaggerated, but you know, probably understand what I mean. That's another good characteristic. It's also one that you can see in the 3/4 view from this angle. This small bump that you can see here basically pretty much describes the position of the cheekbone. For her, it's actually pretty low. Or, yeah, pretty low. You can see there's like this slight slope upwards to the eye. I want to keep that in there too. I'm just going to add some more volume here. Looked pretty flat before. There you go. Just a little bit. make the eyelid a little bit smaller too. There you go. You know what happened today? Today something happened that I haven't, I guess, once a year now. It happened last year. Hopefully it won't happen again, but maybe at some point. I didn't hear my alarm, or it didn't go off for some reason. So I was 4 hours late to my to work. Yeah, basically. I overslept, is that the word for it? I I didn't hear my alarm, and yeah, I was too late, let's say. I don't know why though, because like, you know, I am someone that if I don't have an alarm, I can sleep for a very long time. So if I, you know, like this time, if I'm supposed to wake up at 7 a.m., I can sleep until like 12 a.m. without any problems. Maybe that's because I keep my sleep schedule pretty tight. So I need roughly like minimum of 7 hours, so I sleep 7 hours. Not 8, not 7.5, usually 7 hours to the T, you know, to the dot. Which, you know, maybe that's why sometimes, or if I slip up, then my my body, I don't know, like my body uses that time and, you know, makes sure that it gets enough sleep, or it makes up for the sleep that it's not getting before. I don't know, but it's definitely weird how if I don't have an alarm that I can just sleep forever. Like it feels like I think sometimes I have to make like a conscious effort to actually wake up. That's what I did today. I was lucky that today my grandparents came, and they came for dinner with my mom, because I think she had like a free day. So they heard them talking, and I was like, wait, they arrived, or they wanted to come at like 12 a.m. So hold on, something's wrong here. So I thought to myself, like, should I wake up? Should I not wake up? And then I made the conscious decision to wake up. But sometimes I feel like I can like stay in this sort of place of like the in between sleeping and not sleeping sometimes, which is kind of weird. Don't you work from home? Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, yeah, I guess not really a problem, but that was a benefit, definitely. Last year, I overslept once, and I had to drive there. Luckily, I woke up earlier, so I was there at like 12 a.m. But this time, I woke up at like 12 a.m. Not even 12:45. I went straight to my laptop and started working. Okay. Welcome back, or welcome. Oh no, welcome back, Alexis Pornoir. Was that how you say it? I think so. Hope you enjoyed your Monday. Hi with an exclamation mark. Oh, okay. Sounds very excited. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your Monday and your weekend too. I remember you. Your name is very recognizable. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I think I know. Okay. I think we're getting there pretty quickly. With Vi, I had a harder time getting there, but I think with her, she has some more defining features, which makes it easier to create her. The eye looks weird. Blame it on technical issues. Well, I mean, I could. I still haven't figured out why it didn't ring. Because then I tested. I muted all my sounds on my phone, and it rang. Then I just unmuted my alert sound, and then it rang too. So what was the problem? And I also set all my alarms to ring forever, but for some reason, I guess I just overheard it, and then it just stopped for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm just getting sabotaged. Or maybe, yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of phenomenon that lets you not hear certain sounds. You know how it's like the neuron activated meme with this monkey seeing nothing, the monkey just sitting there, and then the next step is like no, the monkey just sits there, like sort of you know, tense, and then the next image of the meme is like, I don't know, some sort of female hips or whatever, and then you can see like a small neuron right there activated, and just said like neuron activated, and the monkey like looking like this. Maybe that's the same for my, maybe that was the same today for my sleep, you know, like but it's just the opposite. You hear nothing, neurons deactivated, no, neurons neutral, I'm just sleeping, and then alarm ringing, neurons deactivated. Just actively trying to not hear it. I don't know. It was kind of weird. I don't really know how it, you know, why? Like, why would you betray me, body? I asked you to do one thing here, and you don't deliver. But at least, you know, at least it happens once a year. I guess that's acceptable. And I was also pretty lucky that I don't have any, yeah, I was pretty lucky today. I don't have any, like, very urgent tasks or any urgent projects. And I also didn't have, I had one meeting, which I had to be there for, of course. And I would only have like 2 hours or so to prepare for it, which was pretty, like, close when I then finally went to work. But I was lucky that that person that had the meeting with me had to, like, care for their kid. So I got, like, pretty lucky there. I have some more time to work on that project. Been a while, didn't come on the stream. Yeah, I know. I actually got reminded of you at some point from somebody else's name. I thought, like, wait, is that? No. Hold on. No, it couldn't be. There you go. The ears are weird. You can see these pretty clear cubes. That's what you call stylization, if I'm not mistaken. We can maybe adopt this style too, bringing this further. So we can kind of adopt this sort of cube style. I'm not gonna really fully commit to it, but maybe a little bit like this. There you go. Okay. She has very defined features, so it's easier for me to create her than for Jinx or Pi. Which is pretty nice. Blame it. Oh, you're not allowed to know memes. Excuse me. Even my parents know some memes, okay? I mean, maybe not know them, but they share them at least, you know? You know what's the worst? Is when you're... You know what's the worst? When you're sitting, when you're doing whatever in your room, and then you hear, for example, my mom, which is a little bit older, watch something on her phone. So, you know, the best example would be, I go from my kitchen to my room, and then, you know, I see her sitting there with her phone out, looking at something, and then I go into my room, and she's like listening or watching something, like blaring music or blaring like somebody talking, and you can't just hear, oh no, it's another meme. And then you already know that you're gonna receive it in the next minute, and then lo and behold, it's gonna come and it's gonna, she's gonna send it to you as well. And then oftentimes it's not just one meme, it's gonna be 50 memes at the same time. And the problem with that is WhatsApp likes to download them all at once, or likes to download them all, of course. So if you download them, you watch them, they're from 2010 or whatever, or like super old memes, and then, you kind of have to play up like, oh, how funny, because you already know them since you're 12. And then you just immediately remove them because you already know them. Like you just hear some like loud music or loud whatever through your door, and then you're like, oh no, not again. At least it doesn't happen that often. Usually it's as like when you're when it's like a holiday, like Christmas or whatever, somebody sends like a weird, like some sort of Christmas Santa or whatever, like singing a song, or this weird, like any copy pasta, like, oh, congratulations, and some sort of rhyme or whatever. Send that to your loved ones, blah, blah, blah. That's the worst. You basically have to relive your cringe youth when you were like 12, when you discovered Facebook and were on it 24/7, posting all that dumb memes and all that. You have to relive it again 10 years later, because your parents are now on Facebook and get their memes from there too. You're getting haunted by old ghosts. You know what this reminds me of, this character? The Ratatouille female protagonist? It's not a protagonist. What would be the name for people that are like the companion? The person partner? Partner sounds weird because they're not like together. In Ratatouille, the female cook is what this reminds me of. That's the extension of email chains. Don't know if you say it like this in English. You mean like when you get an email and then you're supposed to send it to others? Side, oh, true. Side character? Let's see. What characters? Wait, what? I just look up what characters, and the second answer is what characters are in Arcane. What characters? Hold on. Standard characters in story plots. Story plots. The 7 basic plots. Oh. Meta plot. That's not what I wanted. Overcoming the monster, rags to riches, the quest, voyage and return, comedy, tragedy, and rebirth. The rule of 3. Hold on, that's interesting. I'm wasting time, I know. Hold on. The third event in a series of events becomes the final trigger for something important to happen. This pattern appears in childhood stories like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. Never heard of it. Cinderella and Little Red Riding Hood. Let's see. What do we find for side character definition? Usually a character in a book or movie that is associated with the main character's story or life. Oh, nice. That was exactly what I was looking for. Good job. You know your storytelling. I'm kind of torn between the eyes being too high or in the right spot. I think they're good. The nose looks a little bit too wide. Make it look more female, making it slender or slimmer. There you go. Pretty pronounced too. Let's reduce it a little bit. Okay. Let me remove this bump here. Oh, hello. There you go. Yeah, that's better. It's interesting how different head shapes can be. I saw one meme, I think I had it on my old phone, of somebody having like these this old man's like a receding hairline, but their head was basically like completely flat at the top. So it would be like it would look something like this, where you would have like the face here. You would have like the face right here. There you go. That's the forehead. And then you would have like the forehead would just go like this and then end like this, and then you would have the hair like there. Looked so weird. You would have like this flat plane of just skin. Looked so weird. Okay, let's not waste any time. Let's get to it. Yeah, I mean if I'm happy with this level of detail, we can go into more detail. I think I want to tune or fine-tune some things here and there. I think then we're good to go into the next level. I want to kind of soften this area a little bit, because I think it looks too tense right now. I think that's better. Yeah. I think her eye, I mean the bridge here can be smoother. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I think the eyes look okay, maybe a little bit lower. I think we need some more space between this and that. So I'm gonna move them a little bit lower. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, I plan on making turning the streams, or basically uploading some shorter videos or clips, you could call them, to a separate YouTube channel, the one that I've used before for my quick sketches. When I uploaded those to YouTube too, I want to use that channel now for clips from the stream. I plan on uploading there once a day. Hopefully, if I can keep that up, I should be able to though. So if you want to see, if you kind of, I don't know, attend the stream or whatever, or you just want to see some more, I don't know, content from me, you can go there and, maybe look at some memes, look at some clips from previous streams, for example, maybe even videos, maybe I even upload some shorter versions of the Blender brushes explained there, like some that work, that don't require like previous knowledge, for example. I think that, I just want to make more out of the content that I create, because the stream is sort of pretty, pretty hard to, I think it's pretty inaccessible for most, for most people. So I want to make some of it at least more accessible. Oh, I would really love that kind of content. What do you mean with content? I can't remember what we talked before about. Wait, why can I? Come on. Oh my. You know what? There you go. Yeah, that looks way better. Just some more space above the eyelid helps a lot. She has pretty small eyelids, but still. Today, I think the first clip already has already been posted. I think I want to post them at 8 p.m. my time, UTC. No, that would be 7 p.m. UTC. because that is basically when I'm streaming. So if somebody says, hey, that's a funny stream video, maybe he's streaming right now, and then I do. Oh. Yeah, that's sort of the idea. Didn't know you have another YouTube channel. Oh, I have 3. Sounds pretty like a lot, but the structure that I have for them is pretty manageable. Yeah, I have one for videos that I make out of stream content or out of the streams. I have one, yeah, now one more for clips. You can also join the Discord if you want to see when I upload a new video or when I go live. There you go. Yeah, that's way better. It also kind of enhanced the eye shape a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe it was just like a accidental move, but it definitely looks more than, I guess, more like her now. I like it. Ooh. For some characters, you just kind of know that it looks good in the beginning. I don't know. There you go. Just done that. Ooh, okay. Welcome to the club. Hope you enjoy your stay. Of course, if you do, you said you did 3D too. Was that you that asked that where we talked about the fear of posting stuff on Instagram, for example, or the hesitancy? Let's not say fear. Was that what we talked about at some point a few months ago? How it's how you can kind of think about it, or what you can, like, how I think about it. Yeah, it was me. See, you can post your stuff in there too if you don't want to post it to Instagram, or even ask for feedback, Next feedback session, we did one last week on Thursday. The next one will probably be on Thursday next week. Previous week, Thursday was the last one. So if you're interested in that, getting some feedback on your pieces, or just posting them there without the entire world to see, you can do that too. Okay, let me change the. I want to work on the 3/4 view. Let me give you a 3/4 view too, so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm gonna go with this one. You can see very clearly what it looks like. Did you finish Vi? Welcome back, Palladium. I did. You can see it on Instagram or Twitter or Discord. I'll make a video. Probably what I want to do, first of all, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a video out of every character, like Jinx, Vi, and Caitlyn. But my schedule kind of made it so that it's probably going to be a video about all of them. I think that'll also make the video more interesting, maybe. Although, I think you can also make one for each individual one, but now that I basically will finish all of them before I create the video, I'll probably put them all in one. I also need to figure out how I work with the AI, because there's some sort of weird error, and I need to know Python to fix it. So if somebody knows Python, or knows how to work in Google Colab, tell me. I need your help. I know someone that maybe can help me, but I need to reach out first. I know 2 people. I'm, you know, it's always the worst when there's something, you know, I can slightly understand programming, but to solve that problem, I would have to learn like the basics of Python, which would take a while, too long, in my opinion. So I need to find someone that can help me with that. I didn't post much, but I keep going. Nice. Welcome back, or welcome Ant LF or Antolf Star. Wait, is that a star? Yeah. Hope you enjoyed your Monday and maybe even weekend. What do you need to do in Python? I need to reference to an image. So it basically wants, so, you know, they uploaded their script, their AI script to Google Colab, or you can access it there. You need to set everything up, so you just have to hit play on all the processes for it to set up everything. And then at some point it asks you for the image. And for one, I have two AIs that I could use. For one, I need to replace the generation model, so how it generates the person in real life, which is hard because I need to upload a 1.3 gigabyte file, and if you wait for too long, Google Colab just closes or shuts down. So I need to always kind of constantly do something there to keep it alive, let's say, until it's uploaded. Or I work with the other one, but for that one I need to figure out how I can basically import my image into the process. Because at some point in step 5 or so, it asks for the image to realistify, let's say, the input image. But I don't know how to add it there. That's the problem. I tried putting in the link, the drive link didn't work. I tried to upload it into the collab file, didn't work, and then references didn't work. So I always get some sort of syntax error. And I couldn't figure out yet how to fix it. That's beyond my knowledge of Python. Well, okay. Yeah, I know one person. If I remember correctly, let me figure that out real quick. Blender add-on language. Which programming language is used in Blender? Blender is written in 3 languages: C, C++, and Python. C minus, what? For Blender's startup main loop shutdown and most internal functions. C++ physics, audio, game engine, and cycles. Python, the interface, definitions, add-ons, most format import. Yeah, so I know I have somebody on Twitter that I can ask that made a an add-on that I use. So he or they could help me. I know another person that uses Google Colab for rendering Blender program or Blender project, so that he doesn't have to do it on his own PC. He sometimes joins the stream, so if he joins, I can ask him too. He might probably be the best way to figure it out, just because he uses Google Colab. The other person that I have in mind might not. But I can imagine if you have if you can program an add-on for Blender in Python, you can probably also help me with my problem of, linking an image to a process. Hopefully. Yeah, we'll see. I'll figure it out somehow. Okay. I also want to reduce the the sort of, what is it, like the definition or the, I want to smooth out the eyelid here. It's pretty defined right there in the middle. It's less defined on the outside right there. You can still see a line right there, but in some other screenshots you can't. So I kind of want to at least soften it a little bit more than in the middle. There you go. So it's more defined right here. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, if I can't find anybody to help me, I guess I'll just have to figure it out myself. Trial and error, reading up on stuff. I think also Google Colab uses like a slightly different way of doing stuff. So it's even more annoying to figure out what's wrong. But you know, if there's a way, I will find it. I also tried to look for like other references in both like collab files that also tries to reference the image, but I couldn't find anything. So it's like it's literally just trying to find the solution on the internet. Pretty annoying, but you know, what can you do? Okay, I think we're pretty close to getting to the next level of resolution. I think we've basically done everything we can here. I think the proportions look pretty good. The eye height and all that. Yeah. Maybe we can make the jaw just a little bit wider. Just a little bit. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Is it on GitHub? It's also on GitHub. I can send you the link. Hold on. Pixel to style to pixel. GitHub. There you go. Let me sit down real quick and then we can go into the next resolution. What is that? Oh. Okay. I also tried to find a tutorial for it. I found someone that has been playing around with it a lot, but they didn't spill the beans. I have no idea how to like actually use it, or I couldn't find a single tutorial on it. Just some documentation telling you like what it does, but no explanation like how it works. Which is also kind of, you know, annoying. No, not a single tutorial. So, yeah. That makes it even harder. Vi came out pretty well, better than Jinx. Yeah, I think so too. I spent some more time on her than on Jinx. But it's also because of the overall, like, you know, the workflow I've improved the workflow a little bit, from going from Jinx to Vi. You know, more experience leads to better results. Yeah, I like her more too. Okay. Okay. Are you saying Jinx looks bad? Are you trying to insult me? People like, I think those are like the worst people that just try to find something bad about what you're saying. And, you know, you're trying to, I don't know, like, no matter what you say, it's always wrong to them, or it's like, they always find the worst way of understanding it. Okay, enough tweaking and twisting and twiddling. I think we're good. I think we can go to the next level. Okay, multi-resolution. There it is. Number 2. Perfect. Look how smooth it is. Time to add more detail. Okay. It's also very, very, I guess relieving, or I don't know, it just feels very good to finish a character in a week, because I have so many ideas that just pile up if I work on a project for a long time, that it gets harder and harder and harder to stick to that project, which is why the 2-month project was so, like, so hard for me. You know, some people can work on a project for a long time before they like until they are done. You know, and I'm more like the person that wants to like in the best. So like from the artists that I've seen so far, here some people like to work on the same project for a long time. They, for example, I've seen one person that creates every single pore for their characters individually. So they have like they have a 1 pore brush that they use for every single pore for the character. And then you have the other people that post like one day on Twitter, hey, look at this, my new character I'm working on, you know, it will take a little bit longer, but here's a work in progress. And then the next day you have another post from them, hey, here's another character that I'm working on. I have 2 projects now that I'm working on side by side. And then at some point, you know, like 2 weeks later, hey, so I've been working on these projects for a while, and I decided to finish one of these. Which one should I finish? Here's a poll. That's sort of the spectrum of people that I've sort of discovered or encountered so far. I think I'm somewhat in the not in the middle. I think I'm somewhat more in the second side. So I kind of want to do more projects in a short amount of time rather than like big, long projects that I work on for a long time. I think that's more what I like to do. Let me line this up. There you go, perfect. Because it's been like that every time. I go work on a project and then a week or so later I get an idea. I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. Or, oh, I want to do that. And then, you know, once I'm done with that long-term project, it's already been too late, or I forgot it, or I don't want to do it again, or I don't want to do it anymore. And it's like, you know, I would rather just do more with less time commitment, or, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it's just the never-ending problem. And that's why it's so good to have like finished a character in a week, because you can fully focus on that character in that week, and then you're done. You don't need to think about it anymore. That's why I like it so much. There's no long-term commitment for it. You just do it, and then you're done. For long-term characters, there's always like, well, I've been working on it for a while. I need to finish it. Oh, do I want to? Do I want to start something new? I could start something new, which could be pretty cool. So it's like this dilemma. But for long-term character, or for short-term like projects, it's like, hey, let's do this. Oh, we're done. Nice. Without really any thinking of doing something else in that week, because the week is like relatively short, you know. I actually did like a likeness sculpt of Tyler the Creator over a weekend. I think I worked like 16 hours over the weekend once to finish a project, which I was I think I worked on a long-term project at that time, and then I had that idea of like, you know, creating a likeness sculpt, and I wanted to do it, but I couldn't really do it on stream because I wanted to work on the project on stream. So I just said, well, screw it. I'm just gonna do it over the weekend. And then I think I worked like 8 hours one day and then 8 hours the other day to get it done. Just to finish my to bring my inspiration to life. There you go. Yeah, so that's why I kind of wanted to develop like just a workflow to do both. Well, I've always sort of been like I've always found myself getting caught up in like long projects, just because I always like to do everything from scratch. But I kind of want to get a little bit away from that because it's it's a little bit restricting, of course. So, you know, I would have either just created my own base mesh, or, you know, because of Black Friday, I just got one from, what is it, a 3D scan store for 50% off. So I bought the female and male one, so I can, you know, I have a base mesh now with good topology, especially good hand topology. The thing I just can't do myself. where I haven't really spent too much time getting a good topology in my head. It's always been pretty janky, especially on in the palm region. Dude, please. Okay. So that's also why I don't want to like do multiple projects at once, because I kind of fear that I don't like. I have some projects that I started, then I switched to a different project and I never went back to the previous one. You could say, well, you know, probably because you didn't like the previous one, so you just, you know, you freed yourself and went to something else. But I still, you know, when I start a project, I kind of want to finish it. And I'm scared that when I just start a new project, or maybe even multiple ones, that I just kind of like get into the habit of starting something and then not finishing it because I, you know, want to do something else. I don't want to kind of fall into that trap. So I always want to finish something before I start something new. I like the idea of having multiple projects at once, like one big project, then maybe two smaller ones to like switch between them. But I was always too scared to implement that like fully, because I'm scared that I just don't come back to the long-term projects, for example. Because times change stuff. Okay. The eyes look pretty good now. I want to kind of keep this. So what you can see here, hold on. Look at this. Do you see this line right there? This line, I want to kind of keep that in here too. Let's see how we can do that. If we can just extend this one. Might look kind of weird, but let's see. Like this. We have some weird topology here that doesn't really support what I want to do, but let's see. Maybe we can brute force it. There you go. Yeah, I think a little bit. I think that works. Yeah, I think that works. Perfect. So I actually did some research when it comes to the big C that is going around. I haven't really cared about it too much before because I was like, you know, working from home and wasn't really affected by it too much. I got vaccinated, but I wasn't really like, didn't really care about the details too much. Now I, you know, was kind of interested and looked into it. And it seems like maybe, you know, wishful thinking, maybe we're over it soon. the new variant that is going around in South Africa, the Omicron variant, is seems to be, from the recent, I guess, like from the current statistics, let's say, seems to indicate to a variant that is more contagious, but less deadly, you could say, or less, like, it's very, very contagious, but it doesn't do much, which would be perfect, because it would basically mean that everybody would get it, but nobody would be like affected by it, or like fewer people, or more people would get it, but it would still roughly be the same amount of people that would be like hospitalized or have any symptoms, which would be perfect, because then the herd immunity would kick in faster, or would increase more and more and more, and less people would be like in hospitals. So that could be the variant that could end the war, which would be, you know, I think pretty neat. Did you or people in Discord participate in the alternate reality challenge? I don't know. Like, I've created my Discord after that challenge was done, so I don't know if like people in the Discord currently participated. I didn't. But maybe. I think I worked on a different compilation, on a different competition at that time, so I wasn't participating. But maybe, you know, maybe. You can ask in the Discord if you want, if you're curious. Are you a communist? What? Are you a communist? No, I'm not. Welcome back, un creado sin importancia. Hope you enjoyed your Monday. Why that question? Did I do something to, you know, look like a communist or to act like one? I mean, I'm not really that big into politics, so I couldn't really say I'm anything. Or I couldn't really tell you, because I haven't really, I guess, looked into it too much. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm something else. Maybe I'm nothing. Maybe I'm everything. Could also be. No, you never know. All I know is that I don't know. By the way, why does it say Nightbot at U Creador sin importancia to moon to please no? What is that? I can't find communists for my government. I don't know how I read about communists and I see what person who is communist in the internet. You want to see someone? You want to see a communist? Isn't... Oh no, that's capitalist, right? What's a communist? Let's see. Pillars of communism. 10 planks. 2 pillars of communism. A study. I don't want to read a study. Okay. What is communism? A theory or system of social organization in which all property is owned by the community and each person contributes and receives according to their ability and needs. Okay. I remember. Now I remember. Yeah. No, I'm not that. You want to say something in Russian? What does that say? Does it say, hello, fellow communist? How are you today? Or is it a slur? If so, please delete. I don't even think you can delete something. Oh yeah, you can. You can in YouTube chat. You can delete stuff. I don't think you can on YouTube though. Help someone. Someone stealing my house. I mean, yeah, isn't that the joke? Like, in communism, it wouldn't be your house because it would be owned by everyone. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Nightbot is not happy. I actually wanted to deactivate the, hold on. I wanted to deactivate the, actually, do I want to do that? Does the message actually go through, or can only I see it? I don't even know where I changed that. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out later. Maybe I'll change it, maybe not. That decision could have great consequences. So I need to think about it more. Okay, let's see what we can do here to make it more realistic. Now that we have more detail, we can focus more on the fat pads, for example. You can't really see that many here. Can we see some more here? You can see some there, some lines. Let me see if I can find another image that, I guess, has more definition. Well, her face is pretty smooth, to be honest, so there aren't that many. But I think we can highlight some at least. I think the one that we see here, for example, I think that needs some more definition, just a little bit. I kind of noticed that too, that basically all the characters in Arcane, like the trio, I like to call them, Jinx, Vi, and Caitlyn, all have like a very defined line right here, this fat pad. So I kind of want to define that here too. I think Jinx has it the most. But she also has it here. So I want to keep that in here too. There you go. What I discovered is if I go too high with the resolution, Blender crashes. So let's see if we can avoid that here. Okay. There you go. There you go. I want to kind of refine her sort of mouth muscle here, or the fat pad rather. That's not a muscle, it's a fat pad. Just a little bit more. There you go. Okay, we can also we can work on the lips a little bit more. You can see here, they're pretty flat. Let's give them some more structure. A better, more refined structure. Zachary's back. Apparently he's Santa Claus representative. Welcome back, Zachary. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. I see you've changed your Discord profile already to Santa Claus. continuing that, I guess, that style here. Are you here to give us gifts early? I mean, it's what is it called in English? Like the day, the 6th has is like another day of celebration. I can't remember what it's called in English though. Just like I think in English, I mean in German it's just like called the day of Nikolaus. So it's gonna, you know, I don't think that's what it's called in English. Maybe somebody knows. The gift is the stream. Oh, I'm all pumped for the season. Oh, you're a very festive person, I see, or at least for Christmas. Would you say that? Are you very do you like Christmas a lot? Sounds like it. Are you a do you like giving gifts? Are you a good gift giver? A GGG. Christmas is fun but cold. True. I mean, it's kind of weird in Germany actually. It's sort of shifted for us. It went from Christmas being cold and snowy. I think last year it was like it's still sort of cold at Christmas. I think it's like maybe 10 degrees or so, but nowhere near 0 for ice. And then after Christmas, that's when it starts to get cold. I think in March we had snow last year, which is crazy. So it goes further and further into the into the summer region, and like it's, you know, it's snowing later and later and later. Sometimes it's not snowing at all. But it's always cold around Christmas at least. Maybe that shifts too. Maybe, you know, moves further and further back. But it's starting to get cold, so I doubt that at least. But it's definitely not snowing anymore on Christmas, which is kind of bad. Or sad, let's say. Not bad. Kind of sad. You know, you kind of associate snow with Christmas, or winter at least, and pushing that back to March where there would be like Easter, and it's kind of weird. We don't really do too much on Christmas, so it's not really super special. You know, we meet like as a family, but we don't really give gifts anymore. We did it before when I was younger, but we don't do it too much now because we kind of realized like, well, all we really do is like we always like it's always hard to find something first of all to give, and then it's most of the time it's just the same stuff, like, you know, like a gift card or whatever. So we just decided to gift it up. and just you know, I guess enjoy the days without the stress of gift finding, which I like, because I'm bad at giving gifts. So I appreciate it. And I always kind of feel bad when I actually gift gifts, because I usually don't feel like I found the right stuff. I didn't find, like, I couldn't find the right thing. So I always think like, oh, it could have been better. And it's like, you know, the other person really probably just, you know, probably likes it, but still, you know, in your head it's like, well, it could have been better. And it's like, well, I don't know, it just feels weird. And it's also like, the older you get, the less you kind of maybe like gifts, or you can appreciate, well, not appreciate, but like, it's not really special most of the time what you get, like, except when it's like super expensive maybe. It's not like you're getting something you couldn't get yourself. Like, oh, hey, a gift card to a show that I might be interested in. I could have also gotten that myself, but you got it for me, nice. It's basically like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but I guess maybe that's just our family. Probably. You know, there are people that really like the gift giving, the ritual, let's say. So as a kid, you know, it's always like exciting just because you can get stuff that you couldn't get yourself. Like, oh, a new console. I can't buy that with my €2 pocket money. Thank you. You know, you kind of have to hope that you get what you wanted to get. So it's always exciting, you know, but as a parent, it's like, or as like an adult, it's less important, I guess. I think it's then more about the experience rather than the objects, let's say. Okay. I want to fiddle around with the face a little bit more, and then we can go into the body. Just a little bit more, okay? Change some things here and there, and then we're good. There you go. The ears look okay too. Okay. She has a pretty soft face, so we kind of have to be careful with the overall, I guess, like, definition of stuff. That's sort of the problem always with female characters. You have to be more precise or more, I guess, gentle with the with your sculpt, I guess, because you don't want to, I guess, highlight stuff too much, which can lead to it looking like the character looking too old or the character looking too masculine. So you kind of have to always strike a certain balance, which can be pretty hard sometimes, especially if they're very young. They have very if you're young, you don't really have that many defining features, or not as many as you would have if you're older. So it's especially hard then. If you have a very like 20 to probably 30, it's pretty hard to find like it's hard to nail a character down as well as, for example, like older people. Just because you don't have that many features like I don't know, the way your skin is like sagging over your eyelid, for example, or your eye, or your eyelidlets rather, or the lines, the wrinkles. Wrinkles are also very, very personalized, and if you're younger, you don't have that many, so it's harder to find a good, you know, what do you call it? Like to find characteristics that define that person. Super killer, thank you. I'm actually quite happy with this one too. Yeah, as I said before, she I think has more defining features than, for example, Vi. I think Vi was the hardest one to create. But I think her so far looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. We might even be able to use clothing from Vi for her, so we can save some time there too, because she has like a vest-like piece on too that we can use to create, you know, the you know, she has like different similar clothing to Vi that we could maybe use a little bit, you know, modify it a little bit, and then we have good clothing for her. We might be able to do that too. Would be pretty good, because clothing can probably take a while. So if we can save some time there, that would be great. Some people have this sort of dimple here. Some people also have like this S curve right here. Zip. Some people don't. That's another characteristic, but of course ears aren't really that, I guess, special. Somebody just followed. Oh no, hold on. Thank you for the follow. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Let me see what your name is. I can't see it in my preview, unfortunately. There it is. Quite Kitsune. Kitsune. Hope you enjoyed your Monday. Maybe even your weekend. Maybe even last week. Hope you enjoy the stream too. Welcome. Hopefully my Japanese wasn't too horrible. I don't watch too much anime, so I don't really know too much. I don't know the pronunciation that well. But maybe I was somewhat right. Maybe it's Kitsune, you know, some people, for some names it's like you just leave out a letter, like Sasuke, for example, you know, in I think Japanese or Chinese, rather than Sasuke. That's what we like always said in German. Sasuke rather than Sasuke. So it's like, you know, sometimes less intuitive to find the right pronunciation for Asian names, for example, or words. Same with like Spanish, for example. The H has a very interesting pronunciation. At least that's what I remember from my Spanish classes back in the day. One of the few things that I remember. I can't remember how it was weird, but I remember it being weird. I think we need to go to the body now. We haven't worked on that at all yet. So would you also be adding asymmetry? For like asymmetry adds a lot of realism to your character. Yep. That's one of my favorite. That's what I always like to say. If you want to make something more realistic, add variation. So could be proportional variations, could be like eye rotation or eye position, mouth, you know, whatever. Folds, wrinkles on one side or whatever. Or textures, you can change too. What I want to do here is I want to create everything symmetrical first. And then once I go into the so the workflow is basically creating the model asymmetrical. Then once I pose the character, I will pose the body with an armature and I will create a facial expression while posing the character. So I'm going to add some asymmetry then. We're going to end today with a fully symmetrical body. And then once we go into posing, we're going to add asymmetry. So it's going to look slightly weird, but I think it still is enough to make it look realistic. I want to add eyes, because right now it looks weird. Let's add some eyes. Do you have any tips on retopologizing very asymmetrical characters? So, because retopology benefits heavily on symmetry, because, well, you want to have the same symmetry on both sides in the best, like, if it's possible. So you would, what I've always done so far is I would start with, I would retopologize it symmetrically, and then I would add the details, the asymmetric details later. But if you, for example, have a character that has, for example, like a horn on one side that is shorter than on the other, or maybe just on one side but none on the other, maybe you could still get away with a symmetric retopology until you get to the part that is asymmetric. So you can still save time retopologing everything symmetrically, and then once you get to the spot that isn't symmetrical anymore, then you need to switch off symmetry. That could be a way to speed up the process. Or if that's not possible because basically the entire character is asymmetrical, I guess then it's just, you just have to retopologize everything, like both sides. You know, I know how annoying it is to do both sides, but I think that's the only way to do it then. Oh, eyes. Let me prepare a file real quick. I don't want to append everything. Save. Let me open Jinx real quick. There you go. Yeah, asymmetry is always annoying with retopology, with sculpting, or anything. Because it takes twice, like, it's half the speed. And if you don't like retopology, like me, then it's like twice the torment. And, you know, so, yeah, if you can, then try to use symmetry. Wait, did I save the file? I hope so, because I just opened Vi, and I don't want to crash. Okay, I did. Nice. There it is. Okay. I just want to quickly create a new collection for the eyes, so I can import that. Eyes. Perfect. I just need one. Duplicate. Wait, where's my duplication? I mean, my object. Did I duplicate it? No. Duplicate. There it is. Perfect. Did I unparent it? Yes. Okay. IL. Readability is what honestly stops me from making animatable characters. I just hate the process. Yeah, it's very, very annoying. Or boring. Once you get into the, like, once you have a certain workflow or you get into the flow, it's not as bad. But yeah, it just, like, if you want to create animatable characters, it's like this barrier that you need to get over to do the fun stuff again. And it's like, well, I could either, like, I have fun modeling the character, I have fun animating the character, I don't have fun retopologizing the character. So I could either model the character, stop at retopologizing and model another one so I can have fun the whole time, or I could suffer through retopology to get through the next fun stuff. Yeah, I guess, you know, it's just kind of deciding which is worse or what you want to do. That's why I don't believe, you know, that's why I got a an add-on for, I guess, okay retopology, as well as another add-on that I can use to repurpose or recycle old retopologized objects. It is called soft wrap, if you want to look it up. It's very, very, very useful. Okay, let's append. Some people say retopology is, I don't know, relaxing for them. For me, it's just boring. There it is. Da-da-da. Okay. Oh. Delete. Perfect. Sounds interesting. Yeah, it's very, very cool. Of course, you need to have a retopologized model already, so you have to do it once or get a base mesh, I guess. As we said before, it's always good to do it at least like once or twice to at least know the general retopology workflow, because then it helps you when you have problems to solve those. So I always discovered like, oh, why would I learn this? Why would I want to learn this? But afterwards I always discovered like, oh, it was actually pretty good that I, did this, because now I know how I can solve this problem. If I wouldn't have done this, I would have no idea. So it's always good to do any process that is annoying at least once or twice, so that you know the idea or how it works. But afterwards you can definitely think about, I guess, what would you call that, like automating it, or yeah, making just easier on yourself, skipping the thing like entirely. Software basically applies a soft, what would you call it, like the soft body physics to your model, so that you can use it like rubber and you can basically let it wrap onto your model. So you basically shrink wrap it onto your model dynamically by being able to move it still in a very intuitive way with pins and all that stuff. It's very, very, very useful. I think it's only usable in 2.93, or at least the newest, that's the newest version where it works. But I don't think that's too bad, because you can always just go back and then go to your new version again. Okay. Wait. Oh. Oh. There you go. Another follow. Oh no. Hold on. Thank you for landing in the stream, Jetplane444. Hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed your Monday so far. What do you call a the landings, like the entire building for planes again? It's not in harbor, that's for boats. What's the equivalent for planes? No, airspace? No. I can't remember. Oh no, another one. Hold on. Supercolor 232. There he is. Thank you for the subscription. Hope you enjoyed your stay so far. There you go. I think that's good. Forgot to sub. I'm actually someone that doesn't really sub at all. Like on my account. Just because I don't really use my subscription feed. I used it before when it was more important. Now I don't really use it, so I don't really care to subscribe. Because then my recommended feed oftentimes is like, because I would subscribe more than I would unsubscribe. I would get like recommendations that don't really interest me anymore. But now I just deleted all my subscriptions that I don't really care about anymore, and I just don't subscribe at all. So I wouldn't blame you if you don't do it either. Okay, so we have the face. Let me go into render view just to look at it. There you go. Nope. We need to go to the world. Okay. Yeah, I think I haven't looked into my I haven't looked into my subscription feed for probably the last 3 years. So I only use recommended because it's so good now. But you don't really need to do anything else. I think the irises are a little bit too big. I made them a little bit bigger for Vi, but I think we can go a little bit lower here. Wait, didn't I change this one? Oh, I changed the geometry. Let's go to the UVs real quick and fix it. Here. Oh. I want to make it smaller, which means I need to scale it up, right? Yeah. That's probably better. Yeah, that's better. Small rule for the iris position or for the eyeball position. The iris generally touches the lower eyelid and gets covered more by the upper eyelid. That's a good rule to keep in mind when you place your eyeballs. Okay, let's go to the body. Something I wanted to do for a while. So for the body, generally what I want to do, let me show you an image for the reference. Generally, the idea or the differences that how I would describe Vi, Jinx, and Caitlyn is Jinx is pretty slim overall, like I guess you could say somewhat like lean and yeah, slim in general, like not like very necessarily like female characteristics like wide hips or I guess narrow shoulders. For her, it's more like I guess slim in general, like slim hips and slim shoulders too. For Vi, it's more wider shoulders and I guess yeah, wider shoulders is like the main characteristics and like bigger muscles. What I want to do for Caitlyn, I think what's fitting is a more I guess feminine look. So thin waist, so I guess slim-ish shoulders and then wider hips. So let me give you a good reference for that. There it is. I think that can work so we can kind of differentiate the three a little bit better. So we have, where is it? Come on, we have this one, but this one doesn't work that well. Let's use this one. I think that's a good reference for the body. It's slightly twisted, so you can't fully see it, but I think it's a good representation of what I wanted to do here. She's also quite slim, but I think she has more curves, you could say, than Jinx. That's what I kind of had as the idea. Make yeah, kind of bring that in more, make it more curvy, not too much, but you know, a little bit more than Jinx at least. Okay. I just want to mask the arms so I don't change them. There you go. Feather it so that the deformations don't look weird. Perfect. Okay. First of all, actually no, we need to go full on to the body first. Let me mask the head, and then we can do that. Zip. She also has a pretty long neck, what I want to keep in mind too. I think Jinx had something like that too. So let's do that. We can bring this down a little bit to kind of accentuate the neck a little bit more. There you go. Okay, I want to bring the shoulders in a little bit. Okay. She's also a little bit muscular, let's say sporty. I think that's a good word. She's fit, that's what I wanted to say. Fit. So she also has some muscles, but they're not as defined or not as big as Vi's, and maybe not as defined or like, yeah, defined as Jinx's, because she has a little bit more fat on her. Let me use the lasso tool. Get rid of the arms. There you go. Okay. Zip. Perfect. Okay. First of all, waist. Then chest. I think we also need to bring the breast a little bit higher because she has like a corset on. That's something I forgot for Vi. That's also something that I kind of find difficult every time I model a character, a female character. Whether or not I should bring the, like, if you want to add, if you know that you need to add clothing for a character at some point, you always need to model the breast, for example, as if she already is wearing them, because otherwise if you would just model them like naturally, they would hang more and then it wouldn't fit, like then the clothing would look weird. So I guess what you could do is you could either model it like naturally first and then change it later, or I guess you just model it like as if she was wearing something right away, which can also look weird sometimes. I guess it's your choice. So I think that's pretty good for the beginning. And then we can go to the, let's see. I'm gonna hide the arms actually. Scoped, hide, masked. There you go. Okay. And then the hips, I think are a little bit, just a little bit too wide. Or maybe just the hips up there. There you go. Let's bring back the shoulders. Of course, oh, what you often hear for female, I guess, characters is hips wider than shoulders. What I generally discovered is, or what I generally observe in real life, you could say, is that the hips are not necessarily wider when you have fit characters, but they're more the same width. If you have fit characters, like the shoulders can also be wider, but if they're fit and they have big, wide hips, they are oftentimes not necessarily wider than the shoulders, but more as wide. And that doesn't come from the bones, but more from the muscles or fat too. The bones aren't really wider. But the widest part is where you have like the biggest leg muscles right here. I think she's also a little bit bigger, so we can maybe make her proportions in general a little bit lengthier. Her arms can be a little bit more, a little bit slimmer. I still want to have some muscles here, but not too much. So it's like another delicate balance between muscular and not muscular. Very, very delicate. Female muscles can be quite, I guess, difficult to do if they're not like extremely muscular. Okay. Arms. Look pretty good to me. We're not gonna see it anyway, like that much. So the big shapes are really what matters here. Okay. Kind of highlighting the not chest plate. What is it called again? Anatomy is not my thing. Or at least the names. There you go. I wanted to say chest plate, but that's not it. Okay. Oh my god, I really can't think of it. Dude. Hold on. Give me a minute. I'll find it in my brain. Imagine the SpongeBob episode where his brain is just melting, and then you can see all the small SpongeBobs looking through all the files in his brain, trying to find the word that he's looking for. That's what's going on in my brain right now. I'll find it. Give me a sec. Dude, it's unbelievable. Nope. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna Google it. Hold on. I'm gonna cheat. It's chest. Well, that. Okay, well, I get. Okay, well, you know, sometimes I guess it's just too late. You know, it's just too late. At least I tried. Okay. Let's fine-tune the neck a little bit, and then I think we're pretty much there. Yeah, let's do that real quick. Me saying let's work on the neck and then working on anything else. I mean, wouldn't be a Nogi stream if it wouldn't be that way. Okay. Let's do it. Let's give the neck a little bit more definition, and then we're good. Then tomorrow we'll probably work on the clothing. I think that's what we've done last week for Vi, and I think that's what I want to do for this week too. We can probably utilize some assets from Vi too, so it's a little bit quicker. We don't need to do everything from scratch. The clothing was one of the big factors that slowed down, I guess, Vi, because she has quite a detailed like outfit. Caitlyn does too, but because we can, you know, utilize some of Vi's clothing, it'll be a little bit quicker, at least. So tomorrow we're gonna work on the clothing, and then I will also prepare the skin shader off stream, and then we have the clothing plus the and then on Wednesday we're gonna do the hair, and then on Thursday we'll see how far we are. Yeah, I'm not gonna plan on finishing this on stream, but we'll see where we get in these first 3 days. Last week for Vi, we didn't really have 4 days to work on her because we did the personal feedback session on Thursday last week. So we have 1 more day this week to work on her, which will save me some time over the weekend. But the good part about that is too that I have vacation from Friday. So Friday is my last work day this year. I'm very excited because I have quite a few plans that I want to do, and now I finally have the time to do that. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting too. Okay, I think we're good. We have the body. I don't know why, but the feet look kind of short. I think that's just me though. I haven't really changed it too much. Oh, maybe it's the, hold on. I think I need to move the hips up a little bit. Like this. I think that was the problem. It was too low. I think that's better. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. We finished the model. I'm probably gonna add some more details later off stream, but it's not gonna change the appearance too much. We have the face, we have the we have the body, we have the perfect base for the next level, which would be the clothing, and that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Thank you for joining. Maybe I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting. Or just being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Maybe I'll see you next time for some clothing modeling. As I said 10 times now. I also hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Maybe I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.